Hello, and welcome back to another Minecraft Let's Play video with me, Elven Dragon. So last episode we went and built up a semi-automatic moss farm here. Well, I say semi-automatic. It's still very manual in that we have to hit the switches and the button in order to make anything work for it right now. But it has been working pretty well. It's a little slow, so we may still walk down to the moss cave that we've been growing moss in to get saplings. But it does mean that if we don't want to walk down there, we can easily get saplings for rooted dirt up here. And I think that'll be quite nice and it'll be a lot easier. Eventually, I'd like to get this set up so that we can make it automatic. But until we get to the nether, there's not really much we can do about that. But today, we've got a few things to do. As you can see, this is still a very much empty room, and we have a bit of decorating to do. So I've got some thoughts about that. But one thing I want to do is I want to work on getting some more of the stuff that we need for our terraforming. And that means we're going to need a better source of mud than me just going and filling bottles and putting it on some dirt. So I'm thinking we might work on a bit of an automated mud farm, or at least semi-automated. Not much we can do without observers and comparators right now. But before we work on that, I want to go take a look at the pale oak tree. It looks like it's grown up. It looks like it's a 2x2. So that's going to be fun to get more saplings for. But I've got to let Puck know to go keep an eye out for those as he's off wandering around on doing some of his tasks. I left him with a bunch of tasks to do over at the main base and just gathering stuff in the redstone pit. So that once we're done over here, we can easily jump right back into any projects over there that we want to work on. Hopefully they've actually been getting those done and not just sitting and doing nothing. Anyway, I'm not too worried right now. We've got a lot of stuff to get done still on this island. So let's take a look at that pale oak tree. So there's our pale oak tree. Doesn't look too bad. The leaves are interesting. Ooh. Is it going to do that all the time? Oh, that's cool. We could use that. Oh, I like that. Kind of wish they weren't gray leaves, but that falling leaf effect, I do like that. Oh, that's going to be nice. Let's see, oh, that's interesting. You may have to play around with that. Be nice for a very light colored thing, but that's definitely interesting. So we'll definitely have to make sure we get some more saplings for this. Maybe we'll use this down in our moss farm. I was thinking originally of using some oak since we've got lots of oak from getting all of the rooted dirt. But maybe we'll use some of this as pillars. That could be cool. That could be cool. I like that. Something we'll have to play around with. And definitely going to have to work on getting some more saplings here. We only have the one fortune tool, so we'll have to make do with that. But I'm going to go make sure we get enough saplings that we can keep growing some of these. And start fiddling around with what I want to do for designing that room and putting in some farms down there. And then I'll be right back. All right, so all of our pale oak stuff away. We managed to get 9 more saplings out of that. So we've got a whole 10, which should be good for starting off. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to use it for yet. I did go and play around and get a little room set up for our iron farm collection. And I kind of like this. This is kind of cool. The planks here are kind of more of a pearly color. So thinking maybe at some point, maybe we'll do something with this and diamonds at some point. Once we actually get enough diamonds to actually do something like this. But all in all, I'm kind of liking how that's looking. We've got our hopper there. We still have to bring this down. I like how the iron blocks play with it too. So we'll have to play around a bit more with that. And we've got the logs as our pillars on the details for that. But other than that, I've just kind of expanded this room a little bit. I don't want to expand it this way too far because we do have our mine tunnel there. So maybe we'll just go up to here. That gives us some space to still put some farms into the walls. and gives us some more space to start digging out more back here, maybe. But for our little farm that I think we're going to do, I think best bet is probably going to be to put it over here. So we really need two spaces. We're not going to get away with being able to just break the mud automatically. So I'm not as concerned about that. But what I'm thinking is if we dig out a little 3 by 3 by probably 5, I think. Oh, maybe not right there. As I was saying, we dig out a little 3 by 3 to start. I think that should be good. We can go and put our dispenser here. So that'll be what dispenses our bottles onto our mud block. I'm thinking we can put a hopper there that'll suck out the water bottles. And then all we should need to do is just put a hopper line there, or actually let's put it along the side here. That way we can put a barrel there. And all we need to do will be to rig up some clocks to turn this all on and off. I think that that should be sufficient. Put our redstone over on this side just so that it's a little bit easier to do. Maybe we'll just do a button here. So let's see, button there, redstone line going back over here, and torch on the end. Let's try that. All right, so those pieces are in. Let's test this. Looks like just the top one activates. I think that's because we're turning this on, that's going to activate that. So we may need a repeater there. That way it doesn't actually activate the dispenser. I don't know if we do have one. What a stroke of luck. All right, let's do that. Put stone in there. We've got bottles in the top one. There we go. That should work for filling that. Now we just need to put in our filling system and put in our water. All right, so we have pretty much everything in here. Let's stick our extra bottles in there. All we should need to do is water, block that off. Now, if I'm right, I'm hoping that the dispenser will just dispense the water bottles out instead of just holding them in, which we should probably actually have a path back here just to test that. All right, so we've confirmed that it's definitely filling up, and there we go. It's spitting the water bottles out from the bottom dispenser. So if we do our dirt block there, good, we get mud. It's not the most efficient thing in the world, but it does appear to be working. Now we are going to have to grab glass bottles out of there because we can't auto filter those out as we do this. So we'll have to get some more glass bottles at some point. Maybe we can find some witches or something to help get a larger stock. But that should help us, yes, slightly. I mean, it's not much of a speed improvement right now. Until we can actually get a proper automation on this thing and start using some pistons and such to manipulate where we're pushing all of the mud and such, which I suppose we could do, but right now I think what we have is going to work just fine. Again, if we need to, we can always just grab a bottle and place down a bunch of dirt, turn it into mud, and go from there. Now, the other thing I want to do is I want to decorate this. So some of the other areas have kind of had their own themes. So our main thing here has been our cherry. Up here, our little potion cellar has spruce. Now, I'd like to use dark oak for something, but unfortunately, we don't have any dark oak. But since we have our azaleas there, I'm thinking what we could do is go and use oak for this as well. Now, I know we used oak for the mine shaft, so I'm a little hesitant to use it here as well, but I think oak is going to be what fits. If we've managed to find some dark oak, I think we'll definitely probably change it out. But for now, I'm thinking the oak is what will work best. Now, for these walls, I'm not quite sure. Thinking probably enjoying the copper. Still need to finish this room up here, too. Maybe we'll use some of the pale oak. I don't know. Again, I'm still trying to work out and figure things out. I do like this room, though. So far, I'm liking how that's looking. So we've got copper and iron so far. What other blocks do we have that we could use? We don't have a whole lot of gold yet. I guess if we go mining, we might be able to use some lapis. I don't think the blue's going to look very good in here. And we don't have enough of any other metal to really decorate the walls with. So we'll have to play around with that a little more. I think we should probably put pillars up here as well. That might actually work well in our favor because this is kind of a continuation from this room here. So I'm thinking we might just continue that theme on for this room as well. Again, we'll have to play around and figure something out for that. Now for the upper section where we originally had the moss farm, kind of just been leaving this open like this. I'm not too sure what to do with it. Got some ideas. I mean, we could always put it in a fish tank there. Might be a little hard to see, but another option could be like an egg farm or something. But we don't really need a whole lot of eggs, so I haven't quite decided. But whatever we do, that shouldn't be too bad. What we could do is we could put water at one end, hide some chickens, and tie those up at the end. That might actually work as an egg farm. But again, we could always do this as a little fish tank or something. I don't really know. Might be able to get a no, I think we're too high up for glow squid. I suppose we might be able to drag them from one of the ocean caves. Not that far from the ocean. Might be difficult, but we might be able to do that. I don't know. Again, something I've got to play around with. Initially, I was thinking that we could just fill that space in, but might be something cool to do up here. And how far over do we need to go to? Actually, you know what? I'm going to go see what we can do with that. Get some more of our mud harvested up. And I'll be back when I have an idea of what I want to do with this. Got some interesting ideas. Alright, so I've really only gotten a floor and part of the walls in. And I kind of like this. Kind of got this nice little break in the walls here with the oak. Now, what I'm not sure is I think we might bring this one pillar here all the way up to the top. Just to kind of help separate this off from over here. Just a little bit. I'm not quite sure what we're going to put in the upper sections there. Guess we could possibly put in a farm. I did go and put in our grates that we have up here. Thinking we could probably turn that into a nice little walkway along the top. Put some more farms up there. Because this is a very tall room. I kind of like the stone bricks in the wall here. The mossy stone bricks, since we've got so much moss from this moss farm. And then for the floor, I've just kind of got this kind of little pattern. Not too sure about the oak in the floor. We might switch that out for something else. Maybe we'll use some of the pale oak. I don't really know. Get some dark oak. I might try that. But we haven't had any luck with that yet either. So I'm not too sure. Still not quite sure what we're going to do with that upper section here. I did dig it out quite a bit, so we now have a nice big room. I might actually expand that out farther. But you can definitely do something with this. This is definitely big enough for some farms. Definitely put in kind of a little hallway cut through here. Maybe use some of our trapdoors as a railing. Not too sure. Again, I kind of like the idea of having a layer here that we can do stuff with to put in some farms. But I did add in a few extra little farms down at the bottom. Those are going to be for 2 tall flowers, and you may notice that they are all empty. That's because we apparently don't have any of the 2 tall flowers. I haven't seen them yet. And the trader, I don't even know if the trader has any. So we'll have to wait and see on those. Probably have at least one over on that other island there. It's hard to tell. What have you got over here? Nothing good. Yeah, we've already traded with you. I wanted some more lily pads for some stuff. But I'd say that so far it's coming on quite nicely. Again, the walls I'm not too sure about, but I do like the idea of having a multiple layer wall that in here that we can do something with. So I have to figure out those top 5 layers. Maybe we'll even split it again. So do a layer of 2 here in the middle and then maybe go back to stone bricks or something. I don't know. I feel like this probably needs to match what we've got up here for whatever we do for the walls up here. So I have to play around with that. I have to figure out what all I want to put in here, even. Got decent amount of space now in our little basement. So I have to play around with that. But for now, I think that that's probably where we're going to leave things for today. And not too much down here, but it's starting to come together. It's starting. Definitely need to get a lot more copper though. So I would like to thank you all so much for so I would like to thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and consider subscribing if you want to see more of what is going on this island and in the rest of this world. And I will catch you all in the next one. Goodbye.